Welcome everyone. Hey, it's Professor Josh. Welcome to the live. It's of course Monday night and it's time for another live. And today we're talking about 2020 year in review. So hopefully you're ready to talk about some Funkos from 2020, some of my favorites, some of my top picks, and then also let's predict some stuff for 2021. I don't know. Let's make some guesses. Let's hope for some things we want to see more of, things we want to see throughout. So let's just see who's all on. Welcome. Let's see. I see Jedi John on. Welsh Dragon. Welcome. Mock Guinness. Welcome. Collecting with Red. I saw Steven in here earlier. I know he had to go back. I think he had lunch. He had to go back. I saw, let's see, Juicer, Seth. Who else? Blue Spirit, Flip Cake, a bunch of you are coming on. So welcome everyone. I'm glad you could make it. Shep, welcome to Pop Mania. Hopefully everyone's doing well on this Monday night. Like I said, we're going to have some fun. I know there's probably some other lives going on and stuff like that, but that always happens, you know? It's always kind of crazy going back and forth between what's going on and what's happening. So tonight, it's my live, my normal Monday night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern live. And then also on Thursdays, we'll have our Pop Force one live back on Thursdays. Since the holidays are over, we'll be over on the Pop and Duos channel. So if you want to check us all out on the Pop and Duos channel, make sure to check out on Thursday for Pop Force 1. So definitely some great stuff. So yeah, let's talk about some of the Funkos and some of the things that I loved, some of the things I hate, but it was a crazy year, right? Definitely, I think a lot of new people to collecting. So I don't know if you're in here. If you're newer to collecting Funko, let me know. So let me know if this was your first full year of collecting Funko. I've probably been collecting Funko since, I'm trying to think, maybe 2014 or something like that, around there. I know I had some of the early Star Wars. I had all the first Marvel core boxes, the Star Wars Smuggler Bounty boxes, those kind of things. I started from the beginning. I started collecting before that with, just Star Wars, Marvel, Ghostbusters, some of the other things early in those days. And then definitely, started to collect some more things as time grew on. But I think over the last 2 years, I've been really hardcore collecting. Started out, if you didn't know, I started out on Instagram doing weekly lives, once or twice a week. Did this Monday night live we're doing now, kind of live on Instagram, opening mystery boxes and things like that. And everyone kept telling me, you should start a YouTube channel. And I wanted to wait till I got comfortable enough doing it. I probably did 50, 60 lives and said, you know what? Okay, I'll start a YouTube channel. I'm kind of dedicated to now. I want to jump into it. So that's definitely, a good one. Really cool. So, and I've been collecting all my life. If you think about collecting, I don't know where everyone else started with collecting. I think my first real collecting piece was probably baseball cards and then basketball cards. Of course, basketball cards in the early 90s was a big thing for me, with starting with Michael Jordan, and then rookie cards like Shaq and Anthony Hardaway and all these kind of other players that started coming out, but also all the leading players. You had Patrick Ewing, you had David Robinson, you had all these great players with basketball that I started collecting when I really enjoyed the sport of basketball, growing up in middle school and high school and things like that. Started also playing games like Magic the Gathering, started collecting those. So I had toys all my life, but I think collecting started with those. I had He-Man, I had G.I. Joe, I had all these things that now we're buying Funkos of course, Star Wars, all these different toys that we grew up with. Now I'm starting to dive into more of the collecting side of things. And I think that's where Funko does really well. And they continue to do really well this year with a lot of the things that we loved. So definitely, collecting all those kind of things. Pop Mania says they started with Hot Wheels. That definitely, I know a lot of friends that are Hot Wheel collectors. I like to pick up Hot Wheels myself. I click up weird random ones. I like different things I like every once in a while too. I don't try to collect them hardcore because that's a whole nother side. Like everyone has their own like genres of collectors. I'm sure there's a Hot Wheel collector one out there. I don't know if they do Hot Wheel mystery boxes or not or anything like that, but a Hot Wheel like YouTube channel, I'm sure, because there's so many that are always coming out and always going on. Baseball cards was probably my early start, just because I think, baseball was a sport, watched as a kid and that type of thing. But basketball was what I think loved and started collecting. Magic the Gathering was next because I played it. Not necessarily collecting to collect. I collect to play. And it turned out those cards are worth a lot now. So I still have some of those and put those away. All those kind of things. Finding like movies and things like that. Welsh Dragon started with anime on DVD. All those kind of things. People collect so many different things. I had tons of CDs, music, and all kinds of things growing up. So now you're thinking like 2020 was a year of collectors because a lot of people were stuck inside and didn't have the money. Like some people, had extra money still to spend. They might have still had their jobs. We still worked things out. We still had things going on. Other people lost their jobs and like didn't get their income as much and things. And it hurt for a lot of people, but also a lot of people might have just kept their jobs as is and their stable income and things like that. But you weren't going out to the movies. You weren't going out on vacations. You weren't traveling all these different places and spending your money in other ways, like even restaurants and things like that. You weren't doing as much of that in 2020. So a lot of people were spending things on other things they loved in forms of entertainment, and that might have been collectibles as well. So I think I saw a lot more people grow into the collectible community. It might have been because I also became more in depth in the collectible community before I collected kind of on my own, local shops and stuff like that. But probably in the last 2 years, I became really involved in the Instagram community and then the YouTube community, as well as I was watching videos and kind of excited to see what other people were collecting and into and mystery boxes and all those kind of things. So definitely a really interesting year. So I wanted to kind of dive into what we thought about this year and some of the things that you think about for a year in review and some of my favorite things. I figured this would be a better way to do it on a live, get some feedback and some things like that, instead of just doing it straight on like a normal video. A lot of people are doing the 2020 reviews, things like that. But I think, collecting also, as Pop Media says, I see here, the collecting helped a lot of people through the pandemic too. It gave them something to concentrate on, something to focus on, gave them something else to think about, something else to do, and a new community of people. A lot of times too, people in the community, were a great help to a lot of people. I think, I became with tons of people, friends with, that I have never met before. And some people also I met through, local people and things like that. But also people that I've never met before that live all over the country, all over the world, that, I can call my collecting friends, and definitely have that kind of interesting side to it. So I think, that's something really important as people think about those type of things. So let's dive into this. I definitely going to jump into this and have some fun. Welcome, Funko Fanatic. Welcome to the live. Glad it's your first live. The Funko Brothers, welcome everyone coming in. So don't forget, one of the things before we get started, hit that like button. So when we jump into these, hopefully you enjoy the lives. This is a very different one because usually I'm opening something, doing mail calls and things like that. But I thought this was a really cool way to do that kind of year in review and go over all those kind of things that I want to talk about, but I necessarily don't know if I wanted to do a video on or not. A lot of people are doing different videos on it, but I wanted to do a different video, a different style, that we could go ahead and talk about some of these. So, and you can let me know in the chat, in the comments, if you agree with me, don't agree with me, have some other things that were part of your favorites. I'm not necessarily going to go like top 10, top 12, things like that. I'm going to go through some of my favorites and then dive into some of my favorites, maybe in specific like areas of Funko as well too. And then talk about some of the things that happened with Funko. So, it definitely was a different year for Funko. A lot of virtual cons, of course, changed into. We had a lot more things drop on the shop. We had restocks happen, all those kind of things. But I'm going to concentrate on things that were released in 2020 right now. So, released that came out, they might have been, things that are announced, but they had to come out too, because there are things that have been announced that haven't even come out yet as well too. So, thinking about those. So let's dive into that. Let's see if I can bring this up, and I'll keep the comments up with everyone, but let's see if we can share the screen here, and we'll dive into what couple of things I thought for a year in review. So we'll see how this looks. So, like I said, year in review with 2020. This is going to be kind of a fun way to go over what I thought was 2020, some of the hits definitely for 2020. Let me know if you're thinking the same or some of the other ones. So let's see what we can dive into first. So first on my list is actually one I've wanted for a while. So this is a new character for the Marvel Funko line, but has been around in the comic books for a while. So Beta Ray Bill, if you weren't familiar with him, Beta Ray Bill has actually been around in the Marvel universe for a while, especially in the comics. They have not introduced him really in the movies. You would see him if you watched, Planet Hulk. You would see Beta Ray Bill, but very similar to Thor, he can hold Mjolnir, and he actually has the opportunity to get his own hammer. So if you didn't know that, so Beta Ray Bill is a really cool one that I hope they focus on in a future movie for the Marvel universe. So let's hopefully the MCU has something like that in the future. But I think he was a great addition for 2020 because he hasn't been done. We've had a million different Iron Man, a million different Captain Americas, a million different Spider-Man, but Beta Ray Bill was one of the first ones, first time pop that was made. So I like seeing those two. Definitely something different and something new that is out there. And let's see if I can change the style of this. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, a little smaller. So we'll go back. All right. So Beta Ray Bill was Walgreens exclusive. Still, I don't think, has a ton of value. I don't know how his value will go over time. I think his value will definitely go up if he's introduced more into, of course, the Marvel MCU. But we'll see. We'll see how he goes. So he was one of my picks for this year. Very early on he came out, and he was definitely one of the ones I had to get. All right. So the next one is a great addition that was a charitable project, benefited the nonprofits for the Bushfire Heroes. This one was great for Australia. Pop Culture did this one, and they did a pre-sale of these, and all the pre-sales then they made, which was a great one. So, I ordered, I think, 3 of them just because also the shipping's like almost $15-$20 or something like that. I think it was $20 some anyways for them, but this was definitely one that had to get, it's a sad circumstance what was happening. 2020 was a crazy year, but this was one of those that it's great to see when Funko can give back. I wish they would do more of these kind of charity pops as well. So the Frontline Heroes is another example. Definitely a great example there. So I think, seeing things like that, the Frontline Heroes, the other ones that are out there, I think those are great to see. They had the breast cancer awareness ones. They had the pink DC ones. And, they also had the year before another one that actually turned out to be a Grail that a lot of people missed out on. So, sometimes too limited might be bad, but I like this pre-sale of them. They made as many as they needed to sell them. to fulfill those orders. And that was the great thing about these. So it gave a lot back. I forget how much it raised. I don't know if I have them still here. I forget what it said on the back and how much they raised for it. In the past, they've done a Make-A-Wish Foundation and all those kind of things. So, this was definitely one of those that I think later on people will be looking after because they won't remake it. They won't have it just out there over and over again. So definitely some cool stuff. So, hey, I just want to say hey to Popping Off the Walls and Geeky Mama Bear. Welcome. Glad you could stop by. We're just doing a year in review and talking about some of my favorites from 2020. So definitely one to have in your collection. If you haven't picked this one up, it actually goes for a decent price now. It's not too crazy. So you can find it for a decent price. But I don't know if how many people are just giving up this pop. I think if they got it, they're kind of wanting to keep it. I love the koala. I wish his face was kind of frontwards like they have it. I love him hugging on to him, but it has some great features to it. All right, so another favorite was the turtle line, but I didn't really like the new turtle line as much as the kind of retro turtle line like this. I think this retro turtle line was great, but I'm a surfer myself, so seeing a surfer surfing Michelangelo was an awesome pop to have for a con. So SCCC, I was lucky enough to actually get a con sticker one too. Happened to be one we ordered. I think we ordered, Shannon ordered one, I ordered one. One of ours came with a con sticker, so we were really lucky. So it was great to see that. So very, very happy to see those kind of things come in. Really cool. So, hey, welcome Rock and Roll. Welcome Poppin' Duo. We're just talking about some of your favorites. This is definitely one of the ones that you need to have for your collection. If you don't have, I think over time, this one will definitely go up more in value. It went up, and then it kind of went down. Kind of stabled off just like most con pops do. And then I think later on this one will go back up. I'll be curious if they make more in this lineup, other surfboards or skateboards or anything like that with the other characters like Raphael, Donatello, Leonardo, or just keep it Michelangelo, Surfer Michelangelo, and make them kind of a separate one. But I think especially if they make the other ones in the lineups as con pops or anything like that, this will be the first one. So this one will be the one a lot of people will definitely be looking for in the future. But I just think it's a cool pop. It's a great looking pop. They did a really good job on it. So definitely would want more of these. So let's see. So definitely, as we're talking, like some of the ones are con pops, some of the regular pops that I'm going through, just kind of picking out some of the different favorites, definitely. But Michelangelo with surfboard is definitely tops on my list. Anything with a surfboard usually tops my list. So, all right. So Freddy. So interesting thing enough, this was not the year of Freddy Funko. Definitely not the year that we normally have. So I know a lot of us love our Freddy Funkos, especially if you've been a Funko collector for a while, or if you're newer to Funko. So Social Media 2.0 Freddy was actually released this year, but it kind of went away. It was released, a few people got it, and then boom, it was gone. And that was a lot of reasons why that was gone. Was of course the social media team from Funko. A lot of them were let go. So a lot of those that were at that Funko that built up that community, the online community that did the giveaways for these things like Social Media Freddy 2.0, and that went away. So there's a ton of Social Media Freddy's 2.0 somewhere out there. I wanted to have this part of my list, but it's probably not one I'll see anytime soon unless they start releasing some more. It's definitely huge in value. I do have 1.0, definitely one that I wanted for a while, but I think the coolest one from this year, if you had to go with a Freddy, would be Tourist Freddy. I love that he's in shorts and sandals. He has sunglasses in his hand. They did a great job with him. Definitely something that you would want, something very, very different, and something that hasn't been out there as much. So definitely the Freddy Funko Social Media 2.0 is the grail of 2020 for Freddy, just because he disappeared as well. And I knew 1.0 was going to go up in value as soon as they came out with 2.0, but I did not know 2.0 would be gone and hard to get so early in the year. You thought he would be around for a year or two till they came out with another one later on as the kind of giveaway Freddy. But Hollywood definitely came out with this one, the Tourist Freddy. I feel like he's a Florida Freddy as well, a Florida Tourist Freddy sometimes. So very cool. Yeah, Frank and Freddy and Holiday Freddy was also one that came out. So that was really it for Freddy's for us. So it's kind of a year of not having the Freddy's. So, you know, these definitely the few that we've got are definitely on there. So, you know, getting hopefully more in 2021 as we talk about what's next for 2021. Hopefully more Freddy's, hopefully limited edition Freddy's. I'd love to see those, you know, 125 piece, 250, 300 piece Freddy's, the maybe 800, 900, or 1,000, or whatever number they want to come up with. Some of those limited edition Freddy's. But that probably just depends on how they do fun days. And those are usually where they come from as well. So very cool. All right. So Freddy's definitely, I wish there was more, but these are the Freddy's for this year. All right, so I am a Stranger Things fan, so I had to throw this in. This might not be everyone's favorite one or the pop of the year for everyone, but the Duffer Brothers were the only Stranger Things pop introduced this year. So until a new season of Stranger Things comes out, probably won't have any other Stranger Things pops, but this was kind of a random weird one to release too. There was no kind of hint towards the Duffer Brothers in the Upside Down. I do love how they kind of built the box and built them upside down and had everything in there done really well. But, you know, those kind of things are totally different and totally new. But having something like this, you know, was a great thing for us Stranger Things fans. We didn't get much for this year. Hopefully we'll get some more. Hopefully not too crazy amount more, because my Stranger Things thing is taking up tons of room. My collection definitely keeps growing as I'm almost complete. I'm really close to being complete. I'm getting there. I only have a few more probably left, and then the Freddy Funkos that are really hard to get. So the Stranger Things ones, those are definitely ones. So, but definitely, you know, I think this one would be this one is definitely a neat one to have in your collection, something different. And Target released it really strangely. So they had it in their ad. I don't know if anyone else remembers this. Had it in their ad. I think it was the same time as something else was releasing. I remember going to wait for this and asking about it, but it actually released online that day. And it wasn't too hard to get actually afterwards online. I don't think people went crazy for it. There's probably, you know, there's Stranger Things fans, but also it's the Duffer Brother. It's not as the characters and things like that. So it wasn't as hard to get, but definitely it was one of my must-haves for 2020 that I had to grab. So actually, I will talk about pop albums that rock and roll very soon. We'll talk about those, but it's funny. Yeah, it's interesting how those are done. But these guys were definitely different, and, you know, hanging out in the Upside Down with Will, maybe. All right. So next on my list is Simpsons. So Simpsons is one of my favorite lines. Definitely a line I like to have. And the rumor was forever. I kind of have these kind of tied together. So rumor was forever comic book guy would be coming out. Comic book guy would come to this con. Comic book guy is going to come. And we all thought he was going to come to San Diego Comic-Con. Maybe originally you might have been there or something like that. But comic book guy finally came out. And I mean, how can you not love this pop with him holding his comic book, taking it out of the protector, the sleeve there, having his white glove on and everything like that. So it's such a great, iconic pop, and definitely had to be done for Simpsons and had to be done for all the comic book fans out there. So comic book guy was definitely a great one to have and add to that Simpsons collection for New York Comic Con this year, so it was a good one to have. I was lucky enough to pick this one up. A friend was actually able to get it for me and trade me for it. So it was a great one to have. And then we had also Sideshow Bob, which was a great addition to the Simpsons collection. They have not done a Sideshow Bob, and we all know how he just wants to kill Bart. So definitely Sideshow Bob was also the first one with that weird new sticker, right? The new Funko Shop sticker. So you're starting to see stuff actually Funko Shop related that has this new sticker. So Sideshow Bob was one of those that were released to the Funko Shop. Kind of interesting how they're releasing some of these Simpsons pops different ways, the exclusives and things like that. It would have been really cool if they did like a flocked one with his hair. I think his hair would have been great flocked. I think his shoes are really, like, his feet are crazy big, of course, too. So on there. But a really neat pop. I'm glad they are adding more to the Simpsons line. I don't know if it took Disney to take over the Simpsons to then add more to the Funko lines with all the Treehouse of Horrors and other ones they've added. Definitely some really cool ones that they've been adding to this line. So, there's a lot that came out this year, but these were two that are iconic characters that they haven't done anything with yet. And they were rumored for so long. Comic Book Guy has been rumored, like every con, someone has rumored that he would come out. So I'm glad to finally see him come out. And it's definitely a great pose. So very fun. All right. So definitely a hot pop. One of those limited editions, the most different sticker out there, right? Definitely a sticker that you don't see very often. They did a great job with this one. So Marty McFly Plutonium Edition, glow in the dark Marty, that was done through Plastic Empire. So Plastic Empire had to actually, if you didn't know, bid on the rights to get this. So there were several companies that probably went out there that tried to get the rights to do this. They didn't know how crazy it would be with, I think, a 3,000 piece limited pop during a con. But Marty McFly was one of those that I believe was originally scheduled for a con. So in person, it was supposed to be done. It was through the Marty McFly, I believe, Foundation, so Michael J. Fox's foundation. But since they weren't going to the con, they actually had to. So I had to grab this one. I got lucky. So the first drop struck out. First time it dropped, struck out. Later in the day, Plastic Empire did such a great job with this drop. I have to say, I give them kudos because they did some interesting things where they kind of combined it with some other pops they were selling with the other Mark Hamill pops and things like that. But they did such a great job because they wanted to make sure that collectors got it and it wasn't all taken up by people that are just going to resell it right away. Of course, you can't control all of that, but you can limit it. So the second drop, I was able to get it actually because I happened to be on my phone. I think my wife was driving. We were driving somewhere to pick up something, and I was on the phone and got it and saw it pop up. Boom, boom. Ordered the pack, I think, that came with the 2 Mark Hamills as well. Got it on that drop. Can't beat that. Be able to get this pop. And then they also did some other a lottery kind of system, email system, where they had another drop for some other people to get it. So it was really cool of them to do that. Most other retailers would not do something like that. So it was good that they tried some different methods to get this into hands of collectors. I'm definitely keeping a hold of mine. I have it with my other Back to the Future pops, some of my original ones. My DeLorean's at my office, so I have that there with the DeLorean Lego and things like that. But this was definitely, a hard one to get. And I know a lot of people, sad, they didn't get it and tried to get it. And, it was really luck. That's how this one kind of worked out. The right timing, had your notifications on. They posted something, you clicked on it and got it. And I'm glad they actually did clean up and clean up through. Now the value has, stayed a little steady down. So that's the nice thing about it. Kind of, has steadied out in price a little bit. I don't think it'll go too much lower than what it's at. So I think it's like, I've seen them go for like $300 to $400 range. I don't think they'll go any lower than that because the Back to the Future collectors will probably keep a hold of it for a while. Definitely a major grail and a hard one to get. So definitely a cool one. So as we've been talking, definitely, we'll have our Pop Force 1 live, like I said, on Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern on the Pop and Duos channel. And then if you want to check out, it looks like Rock and Roll is going to also go live on Wednesday night. So Rock and Roll is going to have a live on Wednesday night. Probably, I'm guessing the 9 p.m. time. Usually a lot of us go live around that time. I'm always 9:30 p.m. Eastern on Mondays. I don't know. I've been doing it for like a year or so when I was just on Instagram and everything else. So definitely check out some of us, the different members of Pop Force 1. If you haven't subscribed to any of us, we got Slapshot Pops, we got the Pop and Duo, who's in the house tonight, and Rock and Rose in the house tonight. So all of us have different kind of channels and do some different content, so different cool things. And the drawing for last month. So he has the big drawing from last month, and then start a new month maybe of drawings as well too. So very cool. All right. So this is probably also one of the glows of the year as well, too. So that's a nice thing about this. And I think also I just love that it's a very different sticker, very different kind of look to it. They did a good job with this. So another glow of the year and probably chase of the year would be the skeleton from the Corpse Bride. This dropped on the Funko Shop, so definitely a cool one. So definitely a new one that dropped, and it was really interesting because Funko Shop rarely does their exclusives as chases. So the great thing about this is a lot of times they limit you to one or two, depending on when it was. I think they've gone back to like limiting you to two, which is nice. But one or two, depending on the limit. I don't know how many they actually made of these and then how many chases that are out there. But it would be really interesting to see how many are out there for this. So definitely, those kind of things I always wonder about. So, you always wonder how many of there are actually out there, but this has a great glow on it. It's a really cool piece. I was lucky enough to pick up some aftermarket. I didn't get one on the drop. I didn't even get a skeleton on the drop, but I was able to pick up both the common and the chase afterwards for a little bit higher. I was able to sell some and get them lower and then sell some a little higher and get some money back and things like that to help pay for me to have a chase. So like that, but definitely, the people that paid $15 for it scored out big, because this was easily, when it first dropped, probably a $250 chase or so. And then kind of went down from there and up. And I've seen I remember getting sets for anywhere from $150 to $200 and some dollars for sets, maybe with both of them, those kind of things. So definitely a neat one to pick up. I have one now for my collection. I've sold the other ones that I got before. And it's really hard, with PPG, because it depends on if things are out there and easily can find and how hard things are to start getting. So, things will start disappearing for a while and then come back, and they might be they go up in price because they're harder to find because more people get them in their collection that want to keep them and then start losing them throughout. So this one was a fun one that I had to put in as an ad icon for 2020 because this was the only essentially free pop. I mean, I guess the holiday Freddy was a free pop if you spent $75 with the Funko Shop, but this was a free pop pretty much. You bought Dr. Pepper, I guess the cost of buying a couple Dr. Peppers and sending in that. But I remember when this dropped, everyone went crazy for it. I know we all as a family had would use our phones to get it and everything like that. And I remember the crazy price for it at the start. Not too crazy, but it was one of those that's weird. I wonder how like international feels like about this pop though too, because I know we have a couple international people in here. Or if you're watching this replay later on, let me know in your comments like what you thought about this, because I'm curious about what other people thought about little sweet Dr. Pepper, because they wouldn't be able to get them in other countries, but they were able to get them free here. So how many have made it overseas and are sold? Are they harder to get? More expensive, of course, overseas when you can't get them when other ones dropped, those kind of things. Yeah, so talking about the skeleton, I see Seth Floyd asking, the Corpse Bride was one that did drop during the Frank and Freddy day. So I was able to get Frank and Freddy. I was able to get a couple other, but skeleton I did not get at all. So I think it was what it was called, the Funko Ween drop. I think that they called it that one. But this one is a really cool one. I doubt you'll see it. I don't see it a lot of places anymore. I got it in a mystery box maybe once afterwards and stuff like that. I don't see it out a lot. So it might go up in value as an ad icon. It's kind of the weird one that was free, essentially, for a lot of people to get. And they sent them, and some people got bad shipping. Some people got good. Some delayed. Some people got extras because they sent another one to them later on. All kinds of things. But definitely a very cool one to get for your ad icon collectors. And I'm a fan of definitely Dr. Pepper there. So it was cool to get a little sweet as well, too. So something a little different as well for 2020. And this was before all the craziness happened and everything was closed. So my horror pop of the year, I think, goes to this one. So this one is definitely an awesome one to have. I actually have it, I think, up here. I might have it up here. So I thought I had it up there, but as a chase, this one was great. So a lot of people, the Bloody Chase was a great version of it, but also there wasn't a ton of new horror pops. I'm trying to think of what new horror pops were out this year. I mean, of course, they have like Pennywises and things like that, but this one was definitely one to have for your collection. One that a lot of people forgot about. And I don't know how it's going like price-wise. I think it did pretty decent as a chase, actually. So I'll have to look up here and see how it's going price-wise. So Patrick Bateman with the axe. Let's see, his chase is going for 46, so not too bad. I think it'll definitely go up as long as they don't restock it a ton. But definitely the Bloody Chase was a decent one to have from American Psycho. This is definitely one of those, the Patrick Bateman horror pop. So I'm trying to think of like a ton. There was a bunch of horror or not this year, and I don't really think. I kind of try to use some of the cool thing about the Funko app. You can use some filters to kind of help you find stuff. So I kind of did year 2020 and kind of looked through different things when I was looking through. And one of the things I want to look through, I don't know, it would be, I guess, television and that, but I was trying to think if they had maybe characters and things like that. But, it could be movies and also television, some of the horror stuff that kind of falls in those lines. But I don't remember a lot of horror pops coming out this year. I don't know what other people think about the horror pops, but let me know what you thought. Other ones that might have come out this year that you really liked. But I don't remember a ton coming out this year for some reason. And I don't know, even around Halloween time, thought more would come out or over the year. I guess you could also go with another great one would be, what's his name? Sam. So Sam would be a really good one too. So Sam was kind of more like a movie moment, the one that came out. So Sam with the pumpkin, I could probably bring that one up, but I'm thinking about that. That one was a really good one as well. So not a lot of horror pops this year. So this one is definitely my top for the horror pop, and a classic horror movie as well too with that. And just the Bloody Chase was kind of a nice addition. you always have to have bloody chases, right, with these horror pops. So, all right. So, I don't know if you'd call this one a movie moment almost. It doesn't say movie moment and that kind of thing, TV moment, whatever you want to call this. The Mandalorian with Child, I really like this one a lot. I think they did a great job with it, and it really kind of like summed up the Mandalorian, the look and feel of it and everything. So, yeah, Spirit Halloween was the Sam one. So Spirit actually made two. So two of those, two different ones. They made more of like a movie moment one, which isn't that big. I don't think I have it still out. We had it for Halloween out, but I think I put it out with some of my other horror pops, things like that. But they have some of the other ones that were, they also came out with another Sam, I think just recently. So I don't know if I consider 2020, 2021 by himself as well too. So that's really like the main horror ones that I remember seeing. But The Mandalorian, of course, took over 2019 and 2020 here. As we go into 2020, there was a lot of good Mandalorian pops. But this one I liked because it represented kind of a scene, a look, a feel of the Mandalorian. I really liked it. It was something a little different as well, too. So I actually have it right up here, out of box. So it was definitely, let's see, this for a second. It was definitely a great kind of, I guess, movie moment, TV moment, but definitely a great look for the Mandalorian with the child, or Grogu, as we like to call him too. And I like how the base is done for Star Wars. Because all the other bases, of course, are little black bases like that, or if you have a jetpack, it's different. But they did some good details on this all the way around. It just looks really good. Of course, how can you not love him? Is Lil Pram. So they did a really good job with that. I was glad to have that one. I think actually the Pop and Duo sent me that one that I took out of box right there. So thank you for that. So yeah, a really good out of box. I think some of these bigger ones, you just have to take out a box and enjoy. You can put the box away and hide it away, whatever, keep it in good condition. But you got to take some of these bigger ones out and enjoy what they look like, because the box is sometimes too big. Same with the Millennium Falcon. I have that up there. That's like one of those. Some of the 10 inches I like to, if I have room to take them out of the box and put them somewhere. Those are kind of cool to do as well. All right, so my pop ride of the year would have to be the Jungle Cruise boat. So I couldn't think of too many pop rides that came out this year. I know there was probably some other ones. It was hard to filter and sort when I was looking through the Funko app. This one just stuck out in my mind. Actually, have it out in the hall there too. But seeing that, the pop ride, that definitely some cool stuff out there. So definitely a good one to have. And yeah, this one would be great to also take out of the box as well. So, but I know the Pop and Duo said they took their Mandalorian one out of the box too. And Debbie is having a heat wave of 32. I think we said we're going to be a little warmer tomorrow, but definitely it's been shorts and t-shirt weather most of the time for me as well. So, definitely not 32 though. Yeah, this is a cool ride. And it's weird. Yeah, definitely this was a ride that you had to get only on the Disney shop. It's a Disney Parks exclusive, but they actually didn't sell this in the parks. I remember going there and wanting to get it in the parks because of how much sometimes things come damaged when they're sent. So, I was glad that this one came in such decent condition and everything, and actually was lucky to get it in a decent condition. So I think I got two of them at the same time, which maybe helped stay in the box or something like that. But I think you might be able to still get it on Shop Disney. You might want to check that out. It might be still available. I would definitely pick it up if you are a Disney Parks fan, especially with the Jungle Cruise movie that will be coming out. So with the Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, as the cruise boat captain there. So the Pop and Duo said their Pop Ride of the Year was the new Skeletor on Panther. The flocked one looked really cool too. I have not got that one in yet though from the Funko shop, so it won't come into 2021. But it was for sale in 2020, so definitely 2021 Skeletor would be cool with the Panther. I remember having Panther and him being fuzzy flocked as a kid, even the one that you got. So it'll be interesting if they do He-Man with it flocked as well. But this one was really cool. I'm a big Disney Parks fan, so it was good that they had this available. All right, so Pop and Tea combos. A couple Pop and Tea combos for me for this year. If you know me, I get lots of Pop and Tea combos, but there are a few that were a must for me. And actually one I missed on, not because of I didn't order it, it's because of a screw up with all the pandemic stuff going on and everything. But this was one that I definitely did pick up. It was Spider-Man, and this has restocked a couple times, luckily, for people. And I feel that's good for some people because, it went away really quick, sold out really quick, and it wasn't really in stores as well, too. So this was a nice one to get online. I've had it restock a couple times and grabbed it because I definitely think this is a future Grail that will be for especially a Pop and Tea combo. Blacklight looks really well, but I love the t-shirt because as you notice, the front of the t-shirt is just the Spidey sense going on there. And then on the back is actually the bigger logo, kind of like this shirt has on the front. So I think I like these kind of different styles they have. So this was definitely one of the Pop and Tea combos that was my favorite this year. And then I had another one that was kind of a runner-up. So let me know if there was a Pop and Tea combo that was your favorite from this year as well. Something that you might have picked up that was one of your favorites. But I think this one was another one of my favorites. And I was sad I did not get this shirt. So I actually got ordered. I had a medium ordered, had like a large ordered, and an extra large ordered when they came out. So I pre-ordered all of them just to have a couple different sizes and give my son a shirt and keep a pop out and those kind of things, or keep them sealed and things. And they canceled my extra large. So I didn't get my shirt for me. I got a shirt, gave it to my son, and they only gave me 2 mediums. They didn't even give me like a large what I ordered. They gave me the wrong one even. They didn't have any more in stock. So this one definitely went crazy in value because of all the mess ups. I don't know if it'll ever restock or not. I know overseas it did restock and come available, and a lot of people were able to get it with the special edition sticker if you're overseas, and was able to get it in the last few months. I think a few months ago. Like maybe 2 months ago, I tried to order them, but you couldn't order them from overseas and get them because I just wanted the t-shirt. Like if someone just wanted to give me the extra large t-shirt, I already have the pop. I don't need the pop. I was just looking to get the t-shirt itself. But the pop is a really cool pop as well. But the t-shirt was really awesome. I love the Venomized Ghost Rider. Definitely one to have in the collection. And especially I love the Venomized line. I love Ghost Rider. All those kind of combined are really cool. The shirt looked really awesome too as well. So my son got a shirt out of it, but I did not get this shirt. So I definitely hung on. I have an extra one I hung on to because this one has gone crazy in value. And I don't know if they'll ever do this. Yeah, this is one that tons of people canceled on, went through, didn't canceled certain sizes, all kind of things. I hate when that happens. I just had something cancel on me the other day. I think I ordered some of the new Simpsons pops and Hot Topic canceled them. They were just common ones. They weren't even exclusive or anything like that. I just happened to have them all ordered during Hot Cash. Maybe they're bummed that I got a good deal on them beforehand. So always hard with those kind of things. So Ghost Rider was definitely mine. I don't know if anyone else had any other favorite Pop and Tea combos. I mean, there's so many that came out So many different ones that kind of like I loved as well too, but I think these two stood out to me the most. This one I couldn't grab as a T. I think that's why I was disappointed, but the other one being the Spider-Man, that one was definitely one that was happy to grab that Blacklight Spider-Man shirt. So my 10-inch of 2020 would have to be the Disco Skeletor. Disco Skeletor, and probably also the Mando with Child, and the Chrome Mando with Child. But I put Disco Skeletor because this one definitely a Funko Shop drop exclusive. I missed out on it. I don't remember if I didn't go after it or just missed the drop or something like that. I'm really lucky I picked up on a Whatnot auction for actually a decent price. I think it was only like $50 or something like that, which isn't bad because it's I think $40 almost when it dropped anyways, just to buy. So it was like $50 some plus the the shipping. Discount wasn't too bad, but missed out on it. Was like, what are I thinking? But then got it, luckily, on a auction. I was really surprised. So let's see what this thing's going for. I think this one is actually still going for a good amount. I got the regular one as well too. I think I got that on a good deal through Target, but this is the 10-inch. And it doesn't say the price for some reason on here. Insufficient data, which is really weird because it's a Funko Shop drop, but on the Funko app, it's not selling. But I think I remember seeing it for almost like $89 on Pop Price Guide. I think most of people sell it for that. Definitely a cool one, a harder one to get, a really neat one. So this is the 10-inch Disco Skeletor. It's one of my top 10 inches, along with, I'd say, the Mandalorian 10-inch. That one was really done really well. I'm glad to pick that one up as well, too. All right, so one that has never been done is the Brian Mariotti Funko Pop. This one I had to pick up afterwards too. Missed out on the drop on this one. Probably most people did. A limited 5,000 pieces. Came with the Making Fun movie. I love the Making Fun movie. Remember seeing the documentary. I don't know if I'll open this box up or not. Hopefully they sell the documentary separate or have access to it again online. But definitely a great documentary. Great that they had this as a limited piece along with that. Really cool to have. So the first, I guess, recently, for 2020, the only one I know that was a movie actually, I'm trying to think. No, there was some other movie and pop combos. So they had the Bugs Bunny release, and they had, I think Batman Beyond was this year as well, too. So this one was definitely my top one. And definitely, I think I paid, I think it was good, like $80 or so for this. Definitely wasn't cheap to get this, but it is 5,000 pieces. It is a great piece of Funko history and very cool to get. And I doubt they're going to make very many Brian Mariotti pops in the future. And also, I don't know when they're going to come out with the Making Fun DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, anymore in the future as well. But coming to think of it, they did have at least two other ones that were Batman Beyond, which I did pick up, and I did not pick up the Bugs Bunny one, though. The Batman Beyond Complete series has a really cool metallic one. I'm trying to think if that came out in 2020, though. It might have came out before then, but I know I got it recently, maybe 4 or 5 months ago again when it went on sale on Amazon, and then it went back in price. Kind of like those weird things. But definitely a cool one to have in the collection. All right. So next up, the Pop Town of the Year must go to Sleeping Beauty's Castle with Walt Disney. I think, and no, I don't think anyone would argue with this one being definitely the Pop Town of the Year. Sleeping Beauty with Walt. The only Walt Pop that we have out there, I'm still waiting to get this one. I'm waiting for them to restock it at Disney at the parks to see if I can pick it up. I need to pick this one up. I really like, at least, I want Walt. the castle, I'm okay with. It's the castle from Disneyland, which is cool. Definitely different from Cinderella's castle, which I'm used to being at Disney World mostly. But Walt with a little Mickey, that is such an awesome pop. Definitely would love to have that on its own. I mean, that could have been a great pop on its own and would have been a killer at the parks. But, with the castle, it's neat. I think it would be really cool out of box as well, too. One of those out of box definitely is cool. So, yeah, collecting with red, the Batman Beyond pop I was talking about is really great. That metallic on it, a really cool pop. I have that. I kept one that's sealed, and then we opened the other one, and then we wanted to watch Batman Beyond too. So we have that. So definitely a cool one to have. All right. So from Sleeping Beauty's Castle, still looking to get this one. Still looking to pick this one up at the parks. Heard about restocks at Disney Springs. Kind of hard to restock, then goes away, and then restocks again. So I'm looking forward to seeing if I can get a restock and grab some. And I know a couple other friends that wanted them too. So hopefully I can get a restock for them. I could have probably ordered it online too, but I was afraid of it getting like ruined and shipping and everything else. And another Pop Town that came out this year that was really cool and interesting, of course, is Funko HQ. I waited on this one because I didn't want to get it right away because it's such a big one. I'm kind of glad I waited because I definitely got it when it was on sale. So I got it at a really good, I think, 50% off. It was either that or it was BOGO kind of deal, but 50% off for a Pop Town like this. But the detail was really cool. Funko HQ, of course, with a Freddy. So I guess this is our other Freddy for this year, as we kind of talked about several of the Freddys. This one was really cool to get. Yeah, and he's still available. Well, last week, yeah, I know. Definitely some of the others. He was available last week. I heard that from someone else that I kind of messaged in our kind of local group to see if they've seen them. So definitely it's cool that they're there. So welcome, Slapshots and Joanna. Maybe both of them are here. Let's see. Welcome. So yeah, hopefully you can get that, Pop Town. We're hoping for that. So, the Disney one is definitely, I think, the Pop Town of the year. But Freddy HQ comes in close second there. I just think Walt is that iconic character that alone, if you just gave me a Walt pop, I would have been happy without the castle too. So, all right. So we went through a ton of different things. But new this year was kind of new this year. They had a little bit of release of some pop pins before, but we got, what do we got? We got Thanos, right? We got Thanos. We got our friend Thanos here. We got several other pop pins from horror to My Hero to Dragon Ball Z to Star Wars, 2 different Star Wars sets, all kinds of pop pins. I don't know. This was one of my favorites. I was able to pick one of them up. But one was from New York Comic Con. They considered last year. So, and then they also had some of the other ones that were from, what was I thinking? My favorite, the first one came out on Fun Days the year before. So that one was like the first pop pin, but the pop pins are doing really well. Something new for 2020. Kind of wanted to mention them. I don't know if I have a total favorite. Thanos was a great one to add to my collection, especially the con exclusive one. Also the Child. So they did have the Child one. I don't know how many people grabbed that one, but let's see if I can bring back up my screen here. So I don't know how many people grabbed the Child Special Edition pop pin. This was definitely a cool one to have. And then also the Iron Man one, which was limited to like 250. I don't know if I have it in here. I might not have it in here. But that one you had to buy the bag with. So definitely the pop pins, having those variety of ones were really cool. I really like them. I think they're different. I think they'll keep coming. That's one thing for 2021. You'll see more coming out with some of the other genres, I think, as well. I mean, they've already done some Marvel, some Star Wars, 2 rounds of Star Wars now. So you'll probably see some other ones come out with some more Marvel. We haven't seen a Deadpool one come out yet, so I'm not surprised that if they come out with a Deadpool 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, a whole set. Who knows? So let's go back here. And of course, 2020 was the year of Funko Sodas. I know many of you are into Funko Sodas as well. Probably myself or Rock and Roll helped influence you more into Funko Sodas as we went on. Very from the start, these were the original gang of Funko Sodas that I went after. I remember getting the Crusader Rabbit early on at Box Lunch, probably one of my earlier Funko Sodas. I remember getting Big Boy was one of my first ones there. Mumra and Lino, and then Batman and Robin and all the crew here. Definitely was great ones to pick up. And, you know, it was the year of Funko Sodas. And then you're not going to see them let up. So, you know, this was just a start. I thought, you know what, I'm going to grab them. If they're fad, if they go away, whatever. I had fun with them. I grabbed them. I don't see they're going away. So I think a lot of this first round here will definitely be going up in value over this next year as more people start collecting Funko Sodas and realizing they want some of the earlier ones, especially like DC. Like you got Batman and Robin, you got the icons like Frankenberry and Count Chocula. But one of the ones that I think a lot of people kind of looked over was Crusader Rabbit. This is one of the characters that has not been done at all ever in Funko form. So Crusader Rabbit is one of the original cartoons that came to TV. So if you think about like our old cartoons, this is before my time. Definitely, this is definitely one of those that a lot of people didn't know who it was. So I think if you don't look up the history about Crusader Rabbit and learn a little more and try maybe find some episodes on like YouTube or whatever like that, you definitely want to find those. So Soda is Miss Slapshot's enemy number 1. So we need to help Joanna get a chase in 2021. That is the thing, a 21 chase. So I think this was one of my first chases that we got. And this was when I was opening them on Instagram, like live, and just opening them too in general. We might not even open them all on video. We bought from the very beginning the Funko Sodas, so definitely got into it. So one of the others, of course, this is my common of the year. I think along with Crusader Rabbit, who is that one that everyone really like forgets about and doesn't know and understand. I think this Oogie Boogie, a lot of people know, of course, Nightmare Before Christmas. Funny, didn't do that well in the theaters, but like has standed the test of times since it's been out. And I remember just recently watching, I don't know if you've been on Netflix and watching the movies that made us, Halloween movies that made us, that there was the Nightmare Before Christmas, and they talked a lot about how it standed so much test of time, and like people are buying the merchandise and connecting with the movie over the years. But at first it didn't do that great in theaters, and people weren't sure how to see it as a Disney movie, and it didn't come out as a Disney movie. Now Disney eats up all that because it's so much merchandising and everything else. But it was so weird to have it as a glow as the common. So the common was the glow, which was crazy in its own. So that's definitely like the weird one that was out there. So yeah, this should have probably been the chase. They probably screwed it up and had it backwards. But you know what? Now everyone's happy about getting a common, so it's pretty neat to have the glow as a common, because everyone's really happy about getting the common. I think the chase is cool looking, but the glow is really neat to have out there. So definitely my comment of the year for sodas would be probably Oogie Boogie. All right, so one of those that did not have a chase, but one of my favorites out there is Disco Skeletor. He goes along with my 10-inch Disco Skeletor very well. They did a great job with this one. The colors on this look great, kind of shine, the metallic-y kind of look on it. They did a really good job with this one. But what do you think about this one? These are definitely an interesting one because they did not have a chase. But this one sold out really quick. So definitely they kept it lower numbers. Thanks, Jedi John. Thank you. Hopefully everyone's having fun with this live. And if not, come back and check out the replay as well, too. So that's a great thing if people have to go for some reason or can't make a live. I like to be able to have them check this out. And I thought this was a fun way to do my year in review, too. Like I said, it kind of at the beginning. So if you haven't liked this video already, if you haven't liked, hit the like button for me. It's always appreciated. And then, we're definitely, if you missed some, you can always check it out later too. That's the great thing about this. So Disco Skeletor was a weird one with no chase. So if he made a chase, what do you think the chase would look like? I'm wondering, what would the chase have looked like for this one? Because in himself, he's kind of like a chase, right? Maybe more metallic-y. I don't know. Maybe a different color. Maybe he could have some glow into him or something like that. I don't. This one's hard, but this was such a great one to have. But I think they learned a lesson from this con too, because it's the same time that they offered the first flocked one. We got Moss Man here. They should have done him scented. So I don't know if you remember what this toy smelled like. It smelled weird. So I don't know who else smelled this one, but they did not have a chase to Moss Man. They could have easily made him regular and his chase flocked. I think they wanted to get out there, or maybe made his regular and then his chase scented. That would be even better. When you open that plastic for the first time, you'd smell it and have that. Those kind of things. I was always wondering, what are they thinking? With not having a chase with the sodas. I think that's the real appeal of these sodas. It's still nice to have, the limited numbers with these and that. Maybe they didn't want to make them regular and then have a flock chase. Maybe they wanted to make sure everyone got a flocked one. Maybe they could have done it something backwards, or like I said, scented would have been a cool one. So definitely having that on there. So always appreciate when people hit the like button. Like button is always important for engagement and fun, and shows me that you guys are having a great time as well too. So keeps me entertained enough to do the lives every week. Another flocked one for this year. Of course, we got our other flock soda. We got our Chase flock soda. This made sense, right? We got Chase Bob Ross with a flock Bob Ross. This was definitely a great one to have. I have yet to pull this one. I haven't opened Bob Ross's yet. I think I have some out there. So I need to open my Bob Ross's and get the flock Bob Ross. Have not pulled him yet. This is the one we might try to turn into Professor Josh if it'll work right. We can take off the hair, keep the beard. We can color it and get it painted and everything like that. But maybe turn this into a Professor Josh soda. Maybe. It might work. We might try this one. So definitely a good one to have, and still need to get some common Bob Ross. So I still need to open Bob Ross's. So hopefully we get the flock somewhere in one of them as well. The chase of the year, I think, needs to go. There's two of them. This is one of them. This is a Shredder. Shredder is definitely a black light chase. They just did such a great job. This one the colors look awesome. Kind of the detail and shading and everything looks really awesome with this one. The pop itself was good, and I also like it because it's the same mold as the common, but they did such a great job with the colors, and the look of it. I think this is definitely one of the chase of the year. I think people will be after this one. I just picked up a whole nother case of these shredders to be able to have a case that's sealed, because I know then there will be a chase in there too. And I think I got some other ones that might have came from like Box Lunch or Hot Topic. I think I'm going to open those because I want to find a couple more chases of these to just kind of put away. So I think this will be a hot chase later on. People will be looking for out of that Ninja Turtle soda lineup. This is going to be the hard one for people that want to give it up. A lot of people will be looking after this one. So I hope they come out within 2021, as we're talking about 2021, a flocked splinter, or at least a chased flocked splinter. A splinter with a chase being flocked, that would be awesome. I don't need them glowing. I think it would be much better suited as a flocked one. So hopefully Funko is listening, tapping into this YouTube channel and listening in. So I don't know if anyone else agrees, but I think we need a regular and a chase flocked splinter for a con in 2021. And of course, it was the first Freddy Funko Soda. We have first sodas, but the most limited Freddy of this year was going to be, the Freddy Funko. We had the New York Comic Con ones, but they're a little more limited actually than this one. But this one was available to everyone. Con one, pretty much, if you didn't have a lottery ticket, you weren't getting that New York Comic Con Freddy Funko Soda. This one was kind of made available to everyone. So a lot of people did get this on the drops. I remember getting the common, at least 2 commons on the drop. I did have to go after and get the chase. That New York Comic Con chase is probably the crazy one of the year. That hasn't really gone down too much in value. Still up there, $500+ selling for, so it hasn't dropped too much in value. Hopefully, I'm hoping it drops a little more once all this kind of is over, but who knows? It might not. Might be one of those that stays up there. It's the most limited chase out there, and one of those ones, Freddy Funko, that Freddy fans all want. So I think this one, as we continue, I hope they make more Freddys as they do different ones. Maybe him with the surfboard would be cool for San Diego Comic-Con, or, maybe they could do Tourist Freddy in this form, or maybe they'll do Freddy as different characters in the Funko Soda lineup for the future ones as well, too, for a con or for fun days or something like that. Hopefully we see some more sodas and see some more limited sodas, and maybe even some really limited sodas that will be out there. Who knows? But I hope they have chases with them. That makes it even more fun, and maybe multiple chases one day. Who knows? All right, so to one of the other things that came out for 2020 is the pop albums. I don't know what everyone's thought on the pop albums are. I kind of like them, and I kind of like iffy on them. I don't know. I've ordered at least the first couple. I had this one ready to go, pre-ordered when it first came out. I was looking forward to it. I like it's in a hard case like it is. Definitely something very different, and I like that you can hang it on the wall. There are some plus and minuses. I noticed they have changed them a little bit since they've come out, so maybe they'll update some of the ones as new ones come out as well too. But I would be curious to what others' thoughts are on these. I think it's the cool thing about this is I think it's just like any other kind of music. Like, you don't have to collect the whole line. Maybe you just collect the albums you really loved growing up, or ones that come along. I want to see one with the Beatles. I want to see some of the other things. Maybe we haven't had a Dave Matthews Band pop. Maybe they'll make a Dave Matthews Band album one. Who knows? Maybe we're still waiting for the Nirvana baby, right? The Nirvana swimming baby. That was the first one predicted after this lineup came out that was going to be there. Hasn't come yet. We've seen some other ones starting to come out now, like Linkin Park, My Chemical Romance. The Black Parade one looks really good. I think that one would be great. You never know who else will come out. Maybe we'll get some, we've seen those pops already, but maybe we'll get some Guns N' Roses or Jimi Hendrix or something else. I'm trying to think of like other ones also. Like you have to really match what the album cover looks like as well too. So starting to think about like all those different kind of album covers. I like this because you don't really see album covers anymore. So you see them in the stores. On like now we of course see records again because people buy vinyls, but it would be really cool if this actually came with a vinyl of the album as well too. So this would be really neat. I'd be curious of what they're going to come out with. How many lines are they going to do of this, and of this album line? And are they going to have any like Funko Shop exclusive ones? Maybe an exclusive one to somewhere like Best Buy or somewhere that sold CDs at one time or still sells, FYE or something like that. Or FYE sells records as well, like vinyls. So Amazon, maybe something, like those kind of things. I'd be curious if they start selling some exclusives. That'd be kind of neat to have something like that. Will they have a chase? I mean, they did have a chase for the Funkoverse games with the Jaws one. So will they have a chase with these? Yeah, will they come out with things like let's see, the Gorillas would be one out there, definitely a cool one. We have things like Prince and Purple Rain, which they've done a pop for, but it'd be a great album cover and things. Michael Jackson, of course, be a great one to see out there. I think there's so many different ones that I remember growing up. I had tons of CDs, of course, tapes of Verse, then CDs and things like that. That I'd love to see some of the covers, the album covers from. So definitely. Joanna would love to see Frank Sinatra and Prince. So maybe we can do a duet together. I don't know how that would work. I don't know if that would be good with the two of them. But you could see some of those that definitely are coming out in those. So as we think about like what we want to see, those are kind of things sum up 2020. We had things where we had virtual, like we talked about already, virtual drops, all kind of changes, all kind of different things, where more people are actually able to get con pops than maybe in the past because some people have never been able to physically go to those. So definitely some different ones there. I did like the AC/DC. I think they did a good job with that pop album. I picked up a couple of them now, but I picked up the first three. So one I have pre-ordered, I think comes out this month. And the first two. So the first two I did a review. So if you haven't checked that video out, did a pop album review not too long ago, talking about them. But I think, as a couple others come out, I'd like to see how they do and how well. But what in 2021 would we like to see? Now, there's rumors, of course, of Goonie Pops. So new Goonie Pops would be kind of neat on my list. I'm hoping no more Chrome Pops. Let's keep those Chrome Pops out of there. Not really looking forward to any more Chrome Pops. Hopefully some more, like, of course, sodas. We've seen lots of sodas coming out in the next two quarters. We've seen the next 2 quarters of sodas, at least what is coming out. We haven't seen any of the other pop albums, I think beyond 6 or 7, somewhere around there. Of course, we have a lot more other things that might be coming down the pipeline. Disney parks. I'd love to see some other Disney parks and Disney rides that I've enjoyed. Hopefully they come out with some of those Disney parks ones. What other things that we're looking to collect? So I'm definitely looking to have some different things about collecting. I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot more He-Man, as He-Man has kind of done. We got the Mandalorian, but also other Star Wars that are going to be coming around. Lots of Marvel. So I think you're going to have Marvel definitely more into that lineup as well. You're going to eat off of those bread and butter kind of lineups. But I think you're going to start seeing some of the older stuff come back as well, too, as they're kind of resurging and making new licenses and grabbing new things. I think grabbing more Goonies Pops will be interesting. Hopefully they don't go crazy with that. I'd like to see maybe like 5 to 6 or maybe 3 and then a chase and then an exclusive or 2. I think that's key for me too, is I can't have a whole line of just commons. I want an exclusive or a chase in there and things like that. Seeing some of those lineups, I think those would be great. I don't know if they'll ever get the Nintendo. So will they ever get the Nintendo license? I know all of us would love to see Super Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, Zelda, all those kind of things come to life in pop form as well too. So I think, in 2021, maybe, you never know what they're going to come out with. And they also have, I'm sure we'll see more blacklight pops and different styles, more art series. They seem to be going well overall. Different art series. I think you're also going to see some of the other things that are coming out, like movie wise and TV wise. I'm wondering if how many of these movies and TV things that are held off, will they re-release stuff? Black Widow, will they re-release all those pops they released a while back? And now they haven't done so well, but I think because the movie wasn't out, so people didn't really get into it. And that hoping to see some other Disney pops and some Disney, of course, like as Disneyland celebrates, but how about Disney World and other things around that, and some of those kind of things that they could really focus on with the parks. Love to see those. As we said, we didn't see a ton of horror pops over this past year, so maybe a bunch of new horror pops. Seinfeld, I see that at K&L. I saw some Seinfeld little, I forgot what they're called. I probably have the Mandalorian ones around here somewhere, but they're like the little keychain things, and they're like the minis that are mystery minis. They had some of those, but man, they looked awful. The ones I saw at Box Lunch the other day, they look so terrible. Hopefully they do the pops a little better for that, and have some, they need a Kramer with a flock Kramer or something like that with his hair. I don't know. They have to come out some. Definitely, it'd be neat to see the Howl's Moving Castle and Kiki. So those would be really neat to have too. So I don't know. You're wondering about, some of the other icons they haven't done yet. There's so many different icons they haven't done. So those could be definitely lines they keep throwing. Some of those history ones and things like that. It'd be neat to see some of that lineup. How about, and also always wondered, will they come out with other ones for things that movies they slowly trickled out? You'll see con ones Up. Will you see something else from Up? Will you see, any of the other ones come out from any of the other Disney movies that have been out for a while? Some really cool stuff that could come out in 2021. Like we said, we're going to see more and more of those the sodas. We've already seen them kind of mimic what comes out. So the Luchador Marvel ones are coming out very similar as the Luchador ones have come out. So interesting how they're lining up what's coming out at the same time, similar ones. So I wonder how that'll work. Curious how Funko does partnering up more with their Loungefly stuff too, for the pins and for the pops and things like that. That was the first time they sold the FET, right? That New York Comic Con FET 1,000 piece. They sold it with that bag that you had to get, the Loungefly bag. So I'm wondering if they're going to do more partnering up with their other ventures. They have game side, a lot of stuff in the Funko game side. They're still diving and putting out tons of things with. Of course, the soda line, the pop line, albums line now, the things with the Loungefly, the other, all kinds of different sides with them. So it would be really interesting how they will. And yeah, will they come back out with stuff that's been vaulted and kind of redo and remake some of those older Disney characters? Debbie was saying, like to see some of the older characters. Maybe they'll redo some anniversary things that are coming up. Will we get more things that have to do with we've seen the resurgence of He-Man, we've seen the resurgence of Ninja Turtles and the retro toy line. Whole retro toy line could still be expanded more as more of those retro toys start coming out and things like that too. So be really interesting how they continue with those, but also make sure new things come out, but also see some more exclusive, some stuff. What are we going to see at those cons? Those hard to find things, the hard to get things, the things that will be exclusive to Funko drops. How often will they do the Funko drops? What ones will be limited pieces? All those kind of crazy things. So all kinds of great stuff. So really had fun talking to everyone. We're right on about an hour and a half in, talking about 2020. Lots of things, I think, coming out with 2021. Looking forward to celebrating a lot of different new things. Right around the corner to 1K. Almost to 1K there. What are we at? I think we're almost at 1K. We are at 873 subscribers. I think we can hit 1K pretty soon. Hopefully we'll do that. Hopefully Joanna will pull that chase in 2021. Hopefully we get some of the pops that we wanted. So definitely some cool stuff that'll come out in 2021. So lots of good things, and hopefully we see some cons and stuff like that in person in 2021. Hopefully we see some of that stuff in person. Hopefully that'll be great. But definitely, you can always check out the replay. We'll have the replay. You can see what some of my other top 20 favorites are in the replay. And hopefully everyone has a great night. Before we do that, we do have a giveaway to do. So a giveaway, if you haven't already done for today's video, you had #lucky. I'll give everyone a few minutes. Most of probably you that are watching probably did that, but you had a chance to win one of the Joker sodas. We'll go ahead and I'll put that in the comments here before we call it a night. #lucky. Let's see who can win. So go over to the video from today, #lucky. Remember to like the video if you haven't already. Make sure you subscribe. I'm sure all of you that are on here have already subscribed to my channel, but I always like to put that out there. Make sure you subscribe and go over to that video from today and #lucky with a comment. And we'll go ahead and pull that and see who wins today. I think we got 26 comments so far, so not too bad. I know some people that might have not been here maybe didn't know to comment or forgot to comment or something like that. But as we're thinking about #lucky in 2021, definitely I think a lot of us have been lucky. My goal for 2021 is actually to go after some of the older pops that have not been able to get or just didn't collect at that time. So I'm working on one right now, one set that I have wanted for a long time. So I'm working on that one. Hopefully I can have that one done early in 2021 and then go after some of the other ones. So definitely some great things. So definitely, hopefully a year of great chases, a year of good mystery boxes. Like I said before, once we hit 1K, we're opening that Pop King Paul mystery box. That's a $1,500 mystery box. So we're opening that Pop King Paul mystery box, but not till we hit 1K. So I'm itching to open it. So help me share that info out. I'll be posting that so we know, everyone knows that I need to hit 1K to open that box so I can see what's in there and also do a great giveaway with something inside there. So, all right. Let's see what we got going on. Let me just check back, see how we're doing on the comment picker. All right, so I got 30 unique comments. I'll give maybe a minute more. Remember, #lucky. Yeah, I want Flipcake. I need one more actually haunted mansion. So, the funny thing is, we still need at least one more that we have been looking for. One of the Grails is the SDCC Hatchbox Ghost Haunted Mansion Glow in the Dark. That is one of the Grails we need to go after. I don't know if I want to pay $700 for it. I've seen it for crazy amounts. Hopefully find it for a little less or do some trading, or maybe I'll pull something really cool or get lucky and pull it, or pull something else that I can trade for it. But those are definitely one that I am working on. I still need to actually get the mansion with the butler. the Pop Town, I guess. That's one we haven't grabbed from that Haunted Mansion set. That's newer for this year. All right, so we'll go back. We'll check the random comment picker, and then I'll switch it over. All right, so I got 31 comments. Let's switch it over. Let's share my screen, change it up. And I appreciate everyone coming out on this Monday night. Hopefully you had some fun and had a good night. We got our random comment picker. We have hashtag lucky. We filtered duplicate users. Got the hashtag right there. We have 31 unique comments. So good luck to everyone. We'll pick our winner here. Good luck, good luck. You get the Joker Pop. And I'm just going to be sending out stuff now. The holidays are over. I got a few giveaways. I think three giveaways that people have been waiting on. I want to get those out this week to them and probably get this out with it. So let's see who gets it. Stephen Campbell. Awesome that you got this. Stephen, I know, was on earlier. I think he had to go because he was at work. So Stephen Campbell, congratulations. We'll make sure to message Stephen if you can, or I'll comment back on his comment here. But he left a great comment. Definitely a long comment here with it. So he definitely said, "Hey Josh, I love both your Joker Soda that you have been released, but I still have yet to get the 1989 Joker Soda and would really love to get that." Talking about that. So I'll work something out with him. I know he's in Australia, so maybe I'll hold it on to him or see if there's something else he wants to do with shipping. If not, I'll run it again and I'll put it on the comment picker because I know he lives in Australia, so I don't know if he has. Some people have forwarding addresses and things like that. Some people don't. So we'll see. I always let them have a chance. I know Welsh, I made a, he wanted something from me and I was able to pick something else from him and then ship them together. And it was a good deal for doing that. So, if I can help someone out that way, I don't mind shipping it to them as long as they help out with the shipping there. Because we all know how crazy it is to ship overseas. But I think like 2 pounds is usually $20, $25. So not too bad. Thanks everyone for coming out. I'm having some fun, having a good time. Again, I think Rock and Roll said he's going live on Wednesday night. And then, of course, Pop Force 1 is on Thursday night. We're back at it. Pop Force 1 on Thursday night at 9 p.m. on the Pop and Duos channel. So make sure to be there. You'll see us spreading the word on that one. But Thursday night is the full gang on Pop Force 1 on the Pop and Duo channel. So thanks again, everyone, for coming out. Hopefully everyone had fun and had a good time and learned something maybe new or found out something more about me. Who knows what I collect. So we'll see you next time, everyone. Thanks. Have a good one.